Good morning, everyone. Jim Clark here at the Synchronicity Sanctuary to share a contemplative focus with you today. Something that we can focus upon that points us to a holistic truth that is happening here and now, whether we're aware of it or not. And this is, of course, what all meditation is about. It's about creating a focus and holding that focus for as long as we can and developing the ability to dive deeper into whatever it is that we are observing, to question it, to let it reveal itself for what it really is. And this is a challenge to human beings who are used to hopping from one thing to another, one thought after another thought, one piece of visionary data, and then another one, and then another one, and on without really questioning what they're seeing, and having the experience of separation as the dominant theme in all of this happening. So today it's the subject today is the inclusive truth. All is one. Modern spirituality is based on this principle of inclusion. Through the daily practice of high-tech meditation and living a holistic lifestyle, we can experientially realize this truth. Breakthrough experiences take us beyond the limitations of our identification with ego and the physical world. Our experience, once experienced, we never forget that all is indeed one conscious vibrating reality, and we are it. We're not separate from it, we are it. And this is the same truth for all human beings. It's the same truth for everything that's in existence. So, as we look at this subject, the inclusive truth, all is one, which is pointing to the positive polarity in this polarized field of experience where this broadcast is happening. It's allowing us to have this experience because there is a positive polarity and there's a negative polarity, and between the two, we can create different things, different visions, different whatever, differences. Okay? And that ability to create a difference in a unity, in a truthful unity consciousness, is how it pretends to be something that it is not. And that is separate human beings. Billions and billions of separate human beings pretending to be individuals separate from each other, separate from everything else in their world. And this is why what comes to my mind a lot of times is when we become attached to either a person or a job or something that we find fulfilling to ourselves, something that we attach our desire to be real, to have meaning and have some fulfillment in our life. That attachment is where it all breaks down, because if you're, say, in a relationship with someone and you love them and they love you and it's a great relationship, both parties rely upon the other for the illusion of that fulfillment. And of course, when the other goes, if they go before you, then the fulfillment goes with them. So this is really not a substitute that works for the truth of who you are. Meditation brings you to that. And when you meditate, you don't meditate with someone, you meditate yourself. You meditate, even if you're in a group of people, when you meditate, as I have here for many years, when you close your eyes and go inside, you are with you and you are meditating and you're focusing upon whatever it is. It could be a mantra, it could be a vision, it could be simply to watch the mind as a disinterested observer. Whatever it is that works for you in a meditative focus, it's holding that focus over time and developing the ability to hold it longer and longer and longer that allows you to eventually break through the illusion of separation. somehow it will come to you, and somehow you will experience this. And when you do, the real fulfillment that is possible as a human being will happen. And once you get a taste of that, that's all you'll ever want, because it's so much more than anything in the illusion of separation. That it's an experience that can't happen in the illusion of separation, period. What we think is fulfilling within this illusory life of the other really has no comparison to what you experience when you realize that you are the same source consciousness, that it simply is all and everything. This is why we're here. This is what we're here to do. This is what we're here to experience. The primary intention in consciousness to create this in the first place is to celebrate itself. And it celebrates itself through us, each and every one of us, as an expression within the illusory world of separation, and then breaking through that illusion and coming to the experience of oneness. Those moments are the moments where consciousness is celebrating itself, and we are the vehicles for this celebration. Whether we see it that way or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we do meditate. What matters is that we do have our breakthrough experiences, because then we know that there's more to life than the illusion of separation. We know that we're not really separate, even though we still have a body that is physically separate from other bodies. Within the illusion, we live truthfully because we have seen what that is, and we experience what that is, and we continue to grow that experience within ourselves by eliminating beliefs and other data and experiences that we're holding on to in our past that say that we are separate, that say that we're just only human, and that suffering is a normal experience that you just have to go through when you're living as a human being. And to some extent, that's true. The human body is a very complex organism, and it doesn't hold up well over time, as we know. It is born fully functioning, and as it ages, certain aspects to its existence, depending on the health and lifestyle of that person, the body will, irregardless of how healthy you are, it will eventually fall apart and die. That's just part of life. Death follows birth, and the death is simply eliminating the pretense of separation that it has to have in order to exist within the illusory world of ego and non-ego, of ego and the other, the separation, the fear-based experience of the other from a personal perspective is fundamental to the human experience, and it's always there. But to go beyond that, you have to live beyond that, and to live beyond that requires a unity consciousness experience, moment to moment to moment, and to have that experience that does not go away, irregardless of what's happening around you, requires a lifestyle that continues to be a meditation, that continues to open you up to the truth and to ground you in that truth to the point where it's always there. The presence of unity consciousness is never gone. So that when you are in your moments of challenge, that presence becomes your meditation. That's it. Here I am, here's the truth. And it doesn't go away. And it just helps to keep you grounded in the truth of who you are. The inclusive truth is a vibrating energy that is consciousness itself. And that all is one. And that all the manifest realities that are created within this vibrating energy of the consciousness that is all and everything, that's a show. And it's a show for a purpose. It's a show that's fulfilling an intention in consciousness. And that intention, if it's in consciousness, it's in us. And this is how human beings gradually come to meditate in the first place, because that intention plays out in each and every individual that ever lives in this world. Not maybe in every lifetime, but it certainly is active all the time. And whatever experience you're having, it's one that fulfills that purpose, and that it is the appropriate experience for you, whatever that might be. My teacher used to tell us here many times, I don't understand why somebody's having the experience they're having, but I do know that that experience is appropriate for them and them only. Otherwise, they wouldn't be having it, because the realization that consciousness is orchestrating the show was a big part of the breakthrough that you have when you live holistic lifestyle and meditate daily. You understand that your ego, your body, your personality, all your history has very little choice of what happens day to day, moment to moment. And for the most part, things and people and situations show up in your life because they're meant to show up, because you need the experience of whatever that is. And this is an orchestration of consciousness. This is the truthful orchestration of your happening. And if you can embrace it as such, if you can live it as such, then you will realize greater and greater fulfillment. And that's all there is to it. The more you're on board with the truth of who you are, the more that you live it consciously, then the more you get out of each and every experience, then the more love that you have for yourself within this, because that is key. A truthful experience is a loving experience, because there is only one. Consciousness loves itself because there's nothing else to love. It loves itself because there's no other. This means that there is no negative polarity. There's no polarized experience within consciousness by itself. So it creates this so that we can have this polarized experience, so that we can have what we think is a real life of separation and suffering on one hand, and the ability to break through that and to realize and discover and incorporate the truth of who we are, and go beyond the illusion of separation while we're still in the human form. And this is the ultimate fulfillment and mastery of the human experience. I know my teacher was so well grounded in that experience, and he had so much depth experience himself, that his teaching was his presence. No matter what he said, when you were around someone with that kind of energy that has been so much integrated into their human experience, that they are a meditation, a living meditation, and you can't help but be elevated and expanded when you're in their presence. And this is what I experienced, and that experience told me what's possible in the human experience. Whether I'm having that same experience myself or not, it's where I can go. It's where I can take myself to with the appropriate lifestyle and focus, as long as I maintain that focus, as long as I am true to that focus, then I will continue to grow in that direction all the faster and all the more. And this is why I live here today, after so many years of being here and meditating and growing my awareness, growing the depth of my awareness and my consequent experience of oneness, whatever that might be. It's more than I've ever had before, and I'm so happy that I've done what I've done, that this is, well, I shouldn't say I've done, because I didn't do it. I was brought to this experience because I kept saying yes to it. I've always had the choice to say yes or no. And whatever I said yes to in terms of being in a community of meditators and really devoting my life to that experience, is what brought me here. It's what grew me to the point where I've grown now, and it's been an immensely rewarding life for me because I've done more than I could have ever done on my own. And I know this because I tried to do it on my own for many years, and I progressed so much more after I came here and was under the guidance of someone who really knew where my challenges were and how to bring me through those and to the other side. So, the inclusive truth, all as one, is the truth that it simply is. The illusion of separation that we have so strongly these days, apparently anyway, can be a real test of where we are. But just meditate and meditate and meditate more. Be true to your practice, be true to your lifestyle. Bring yourself through the illusion of separation to the other side and stay there as much as you can. That's the best thing that any human being can ever do, and I'm going to leave you with that, and I will be back again next Monday for another sharing with you, and then I will also give you the schedule. We have many programs coming up shortly, and so there will be times when this live stream is just not possible for me. So until then, I bid you adieu. I thank you for watching, and I will see you again next Monday morning. Thank you for watching.